After a successful first season in football management that yielded 2 trophies and my first 2 qualifications, it would be time to make a big decision about my future. The Bahamian League is currently ranked 43rd in the CONCACAF region, and if I want to achieve my ambitions of getting to the Premier League, I will need to keep improving the standard of football league I am managing in. So, with a heavy heart, I made the decision to resign from my position at Baja Juniors and set my sights on a job in one of the top 10 CONCACAF leagues, or potentially a move to a different continent. After another lengthy process of applying for jobs and attending interviews, I would secure my second job as I will be managing in Trinidad and Tobago as I take over at Canupia Eagles FC, a team that plays its club football in the 10th ranked league in the CONCACAF region. The team haven't won a trophy since 2016, and I was eager to inform the board that I was the person to change that. I got to work assessing my squad, and once again I'd have a blend of youth and experience to work with. This was a squad that finished middle of the pack in 7th the season before, and was predicted to finish in 10th place this time around. If the finances were bad at Baja Juniors, they'd be catastrophic at Eagles FC, with a massive minus figure for me to work with. The board set the realistic target of becoming an established Premier League team, and with the prospect of no new arrivals, I once again set out to train my existing squad in my 4-3-3 formation. Some of the key players I will look to rely on this season are Ricardo Williams, a 21-year-old winger who attacks fullbacks with his pace and acceleration. Johnson Judy, who is a 27-year-old Haitian bulldozer of a defensive midfielder. And Angelo Exelis, who seems to be the best of a bad bunch of striking options. Preparations were taken up a notch as we moved towards the first game of the season and my first game in charge. The path to the opening fixture wouldn't be smooth sailing. Despite only being at the club for 3 weeks, the players were already banging on my door to inform me of their displeasure around the squad's depth. Surely they would understand that the club was in 600k of debt, right? Well, wrong, as experienced striker Rondell Gibson would persist, as it was leaked to the press that we had been in heated discussion. Just to add another layer of chaos to the pre-season, the board decided to accept a bid of nothing for Fakil Thompson. This was all around the fact that he was one of the top earners, and he was sold to Jablate, further reducing the squad depth. Despite the bumps along the way, we had made it to the first game of the season, as I take charge of Eagles FC for the first time. With a lack of harmony around the squad paired with a new system, it should have been no surprise when we started slowly, as poor defending from a corner hurt us after just 3 minutes. It was clear from the get-go that we were second best, and when Central made it 2-0 after 40 minutes, and 3-0 just before half-time, we looked down and out. But we wouldn't give up, and in the second half rallied to make it 3-1 thanks to a screamer from Defoe, and then 3-2 thanks to Armstrong to give us a glimmer of hope. It wasn't to be though, and our first game at Eagles ends in defeat with lots of work to do. But we would bounce back in the best way possible, as in the very next match we would demolish the reigning champions as we score 6 times to taste victory in the TT Premier Football League for the very first time, as we smashed the club's record for the biggest ever win. This was the breakthrough we needed, as we would go on a run of impressive form that would see us pick up 11 points from the next 15 that were available. This would mean that after 7 games, we sit 3rd in the league, 3 points behind league leaders Defence Force. When the transfer window opened, the club's finances were still in a terrible state. It was getting to the point where key players could be used as assets to balance the books. This would lead to the sales of Shane King, who joins Prisons, Zeron Collymore, who joins Real Maracas, Brandon Semper, who joins Defence Force, and Josiah Baird, who leaves for AC Pos. With squad depth still an issue, I had to promote from the junior teams, as I added defender Stefan Gray, left back Timothy Francis, midfielder Devon James, and left winger Trevor Barrington to my first team. My final act of the transfer window would be to throw caution to the wind, as I made my first signing of the Journeyman Adventure. His name is Luis Manuel Gonzalez, a 19-year-old Mexican who joins the club from Reading United in the USA. So with my reshuffled squad in place, I push forward into the second half of the season, determined to chase down league leaders Defence Force. The first game back after the transfer window turned out to be an epic, crazy match. The visitors' point 14 would take an early lead, but then it became the Luis Manuel Gonzalez show, as our New Mexican forward would complete a 26-minute hat-trick to give us a commanding 3-1 lead. Point 14 grabbed a late goal to set up a grandstand finish, but we would hold firm to claim another 3 points. Following on from the victory against Port 14, the team would record 6 wins and 2 losses against AC Pos and Matura as we continue to push forwards in the hunt for the league title. After 16 games, we now lead the way in the TT Premier League as we hold a slender 1-point advantage over AC Pos. It was clear now that both teams had started to make a breakaway and the title race has the potential to go to the wire. Both teams would have a faultless run-in as amazingly both teams won 7 games in a row to take the title race down to the final game of the season. And so it all comes down to this, and on the last day the teams were still separated by a single point. It means that if we beat Jablote, we would be champions. If we fail to win though, we would need to rely on the result of Central versus AC Pos game going in our favour. As the players walked out onto the pitch, they knew exactly what was at stake. We tried to start the game at lightning speed as we pushed forward for the opener. This would leave us vulnerable as we had to rely on solid defending to keep the score at 0-0. Towards half-time, we were getting on top in the game, and when Gonzalez scored, the crowd went wild, only to see the flag go up for offside and the goal be disallowed. This meant that at half-time it would be 0-0. But luckily for us, it was the exact same scoreline in the other game. As we headed back out for the second half, there was tension in the stadium, and when news broke that AC Pos had scored, they had taken top spot in the league. Luckily for us, that kicked us into life, and just 5 minutes later, Kareem Charles would give us the lead to take the top spot back. And then, Angelo Exelis doubled the lead with 19 minutes to play. Those 2 goals provided to be enough, and when the referee's final whistle blew, it would be confirmed that I had led Eagles FC to the TT Premier League title. We are the champions. After winning the TT Premier League, it would be revealed that I had been inducted into the Trinidad and Tobago Hall of Fame, and as a nice little bonus, I had now earned my National A coaching licence. The other big news is that upon winning the league, we had now qualified for the CONCACAF Central American Cup, where victory would send us to the CONCACAF Champions Cup. After a successful season, it was time to review the campaign and contemplate what was next. After an intense league campaign, we would be crowned champions by a single point. We would finish up on 59 points from 24 games and only lose 3 games all season. The team played some brilliant football en route to the title as we scored an average of 2.79 goals per game, whilst only having an XG of 0.94 against. There were some standout performers across the season, beginning with Kareem Charles, who played 20 times and had an average rating of 7.06 in the league. Johnson Judy would be Mr. Reliable in the midfield. So good was his form, he would earn a World Cup call-up for Haiti. Ricardo Williams would be the top assister in the team. He would get 11 across the season. And the star player of the season would be new boy Luis Manuel Gonzalez, who fired us to the league title with 14 goals in 17 games. After the season concluded, Luis Manuel Gonzalez would be awarded the League Golden Boot and the Young Player of the Year, whilst I was voted Manager of the Year. The board have announced ambitious plans for a new stadium, although I'm not sure what cash they are actually going to use to fund it. With that ambition and potential qualification for the CONCACAF Champions Cup ahead, I was left with a genuine dilemma. Do I stay another year and lead the team into the CONCACAF Champions Cup, or do I swap the club for a bigger league and a better club.